Hey, it's Ryan from the Carb Situation. Remember, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nutritionist, I'm not a trainer. I'm just a human guinea pig who likes to read a lot and willing to experiment. If you go on the journey with me, maybe you'll learn what I learned. Oh yeah, and I curse a lot. Let's do this. Hey, welcome back to another What the Fuck Wednesday. Today I'm going to talk about eating making you fat versus being fat making you want to eat. It's kind of a crazy concept that is easy to pass off, but it's important, and I want to explain it so that we all are on the same page. So most of my life, and probably most of yours, you've believed that if you eat food, you get fat. This is back to the calories in, calories out model. If you eat too much food, you'll get too fat. While excess calories are required to get fatter, it doesn't really work that way. It doesn't work that you just get this magical urge to eat and that makes you fatter and sorry about your luck. Instead, think of it as the fatter you are, the more you need to eat. You see, our bodies are always trying to stay in sort of a homeostasis. So whether you're a 5-foot woman who weighs 95 pounds, she may only need 1,300 calories or something to, maintain that size. And if she goes above that, then she'll feel extra energy if she's eating the right foods. If she goes below that, she'll feel hungry. The similar thing with a 6'2", 250-pound man. If he needs, let's say, 2,800 calories to remain that size, then if he's under that, he's going to feel hungry. And if he's over that, he'll feel energy, as long as he's eating the right foods, which we'll talk about another day. But that's the first way I want to explain this, is that the bigger you get, the more calories your body needs to stay that same size. Okay, it's the same with animals, any organism really. The second way I want to explain this is with a great metaphor that Gary uses. I shouldn't say metaphor, an example, but think of a growing child, whether it's a toddler or a teenager. Now these kids, they grow, obviously, and it's because growth hormone is being secreted in their body and telling their bones to restructure and muscles to be added and telling their body to grow. When that growth is happening, they need more calories to repair those muscles, to extend those bones, to do all that stuff that happens in growth. We would never be silly enough to say, oh, that toddler grew because we fed him too much food. It just kind of sounds ridiculous when you put it that way. So when the organism gets bigger, it requires more food to fuel that growth. Now, when you're a grown adult and you get bigger, growth hormone isn't causing that. We've explained what causes that. But my point here is that when you become a bigger person, like I have over the last month or so, you require more calories to stay that new size. And the third way I want to talk about this is back to the story of insulin. So we eat too many carbohydrates, our blood sugar goes up, our insulin gets jacked up, and if we either continually eat carbohydrates or we eat them often enough, we can keep our insulin levels up high. This isn't such a great thing because when insulin is high, fat gets locked in storage, as we've discussed in previous videos. So when our insulin's high because of our blood sugar and fat is stored away, our muscles have no fuel to burn once they've burned through the glucose. So the muscles burn through all the glucose and then they say, listen, we need some damn fuel here and you've got the fucking fat on lockdown, so we gotta do something. All right, we're gonna take a break because we have no fuel. That's when you get feeling lazy. And also, we need you to go eat some sugar because we need fuel. So, you get hungry. So, a lot of people will look at this from the outside and go, well, this person is fat because they're lazy and they're hungry and they eat all the time. But it's actually happening in reverse. Since insulin is high, fat is being locked away, and the muscles are freaking out. They're like, we have no fuel. All right, so we're going to chill out. Makes you feel lazy. And we need sugar. Makes you feel hungry for cookies. So it's kind of backwards. Now, if we can get that insulin down, the fat will start to get released and the muscles will get their fuel that they need. Once that happens, the opposite happens. Now you have muscles that have excess fuel to burn, and if our insulin is not high, fat is not being locked down, and it's coming out and the muscles are using it for fuel, then you're going to get the opposite sensation. You're going to be like, man, I don't know why I'm so antsy. I feel like I need to go do something. So not lazy. Instead, they want to exercise, and also not hungry because muscles have all the fuel they need. So you're like, I just feel like I want to get out and do something. So you can see that we have the cause and effect backward. Insulin being high and locking away the fat will make you lazy and hungry for sugar. Insulin being low and releasing the fat stores will make your muscles anxious and not hungry. So I hope that made a lot of sense. It took me a while to get my mind around this concept, but it made so much sense. And I don't tell you in order to just give you a free pass and go, well, I'm fat, that's why I have to eat a lot, because fat people have to eat a lot. That's not what I'm trying to say. But it does give you a break on the psychology part of it. Because a lot of people think that, okay, if you're fat, it's because you don't have the willpower to get up and exercise, and you don't have the willpower to stop eating. But that's bullshit, because fat people whose insulin is high, their fat is stored away and they don't have any fuel, and they need glucose for their muscles, and they need to chill out because they have no fuel. So it's not a willpower problem anymore, as far as you just need to get your ass up and exercise, or you just need to stop eating cookies. No, we need to get the insulin down, and then the muscles can take care of themselves. Then you'll feel energy, and you won't feel as much need to eat the cookies. Granted, sugar has an addictive part in our brain, so that's a whole different story together. But that's my point, is fat people, a lot of us want to look at them and say, well, you're fat because you're lazy and you eat too much. But in actuality, because they're fat, it makes them need to be lazy and they have to eat. So let's get that insulin under control so that we don't have to be fat, we don't have to be lazy, and we don't have to eat cookies, because our muscles will have plenty of fuel from all that released fat. That's all I got today. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it made sense. Leave me comments, questions, discussion below. Check out the website, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I hope to see you again next week. Thanks for watching. Cheers.